I have made a ton of financial mistakes throughout my lifetime. The first one that comes to mind is being $120,000 in credit card debt. Yeah, let's not talk about that one. We'll move it on. So in this video, I want to talk about the 6 things that have changed my life when it comes to personal finance. My name is Carmen, and if you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and hit the notifications bell so that you can be notified when we post new videos. So the very first point that I want to talk about is keeping up with the Joneses. I cannot tell you how much money I have wasted trying to keep up with my friends and my family, with clothes, with vacationing, with food, with entertainment, whatever the case may be. I have spent too much money trying to impress my friends and family, and that is so expensive. So right now, what I want you to just think about is, how are you allowing your money to control your life based off of what those around you are doing and the influences that are influencing you to spend a few dollars? Could you be using those funds more efficiently, like paying yourself first, like investing, allowing your money to make more money so that the interest from the money that you're making can then be used to do the things that you actually like? The biggest thing that I have to say that I have learned from my husband, Darius, is really understanding that the money that we make, our income, needs to go straight into opportunities to make money, and the investments that we then earn a return on, that money is the spending money. And it has been a complete paradigm shift in recognizing how we are just using our money as a tool to make more money and to turn more money, so that it doesn't matter what you have going on, your money is cash flowing, and the system that you've created, the money is just continuing to work. But you can't do that if you are spending all of your money up front, spending all of your income, and not creating any passive income from it. So that's something to think about. The second point is that people who have money are good with money. So if you know individuals around you who aren't that great with money, maybe it's time for you to start surrounding yourselves around people who actually are good with money. And when I say good with money, I'm more so saying they're frugal, that they respect the dollar and they know how to best apply their dollar to their lifestyle. So for example, someone who has money maybe isn't spending all their money at the bar. Someone who has money isn't maybe spending all of their money on luxury clothes, because they're using their money for investments to create cash flow and to make more money. And again, that interest can then buy that Gucci purse, right? I hope you hear me on that one. The third point is hanging out with people who have more money. And it wasn't until we started, Darius and myself started elevating our circle of influence, where we were learning how they operated, what investments they were getting into, how much money they were applying to their investments, how to create passive income. Because before, we were working in corporate America and dependent on one paycheck, myself and from Darius. And we didn't understand the beauty of passive income and being able to create cash flow where our money could be working for us. So it wasn't until we were immersed into a different network of influence where we just, started going to investing clubs and then, learning from their friends and their family and how to properly make money so that we're not just dependent on our employer. So I would recommend changing who you hang out with, leveling up your friends, and providing value to those groups so that you're not just always picking their brains, right? You're bringing value, meaning whatever knowledge you have, you can bring into the group and share, so that you're not always just taking knowledge from them and not putting anything back into the love bank, right? So with that said, if you want to surround yourself with like-minded individuals who are trying to level up their finances, then definitely click on the link below, because Darius and I have created a community of like-minded individuals who are all growing their money, using whole life insurance policies specifically to invest and to make more money. Now, the fourth point that I want to talk to you about is investing doesn't have to be risky. And what I mean by that, I think we're taught as consumers typically that we have to take all these risks with an investment. And that's not the case, because if you plan for the investments, you should always have a guaranteed payback, meaning collateral. You should never invest into something with the option that you may not get your money back. And that's the difference that we started to understand with the circle of influence of people that we started to hang out with, because we recognized they have so much respect for their money that they're never just going to throw their money out there without some sort of collateral, because it has to come back. They're not into losing money. And I don't know why sometimes as consumers, we're okay with losing money, but that was the difference in understanding that investing is not about taking risk. And investing is simple. And investing should be something that we think about as a long-term option and not always these get-rich-quick schemes, because long-term is where the true wealth is, and long-term is where we're talking about moving from generation to generation. All right, let's jump into point number 5. And point number 5, I want to say, is cash gives you access. I know a lot of times people say cash is king. I'm going to change that and say cash gives you access. Cash will give you access to different individuals, different groups, different assets, as long as you have it. And every single time that Darius and I didn't have access to cash, we weren't able to invest in opportunities. We weren't able to knock on specific doors just because the money wasn't available to us. And when I say cash gives you access, I'm not talking about the fact that you have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you have to have a little coin on hand in order to make investments, in order to show proof of funds or whatever the case may be. So understanding the tool that cash is to give you access to different opportunities is really what's going to allow you to start playing the Monopoly game and move around, as opposed to just standing at go and not being able to do anything. So when you can think of cash being the key that you need to unlock certain doors, that's really going to change what your opportunities will be when it comes to investing, when it comes to being able to create more money for yourself and your family. And additionally, having cash gives you amazing opportunities to negotiate, either negotiate, a cheaper price, negotiate different deals, because you're able to wave cash at people's hand and go, yeah, I can transfer this to your account immediately. Cash gives you access, because more often than not, somebody wants to do business with you because they know that you can give them cash immediately, as opposed to waiting for a payment plan. Things to think about. Now, the last point that I'm going to leave you all with is that money buys freedom. I didn't understand this whole concept until we started to save more money. We were able to pay for unexpected expenses without having to go into debt. We had our income covered for 6 months, for a year. And when those opportunities came around to look at our planning and look at everything that we've done, we were able to just breathe for a minute and go, wow, if the refrigerator goes out, we're okay. If somebody loses their job, it's okay. If business is slow for a few months, we're okay. And it wasn't until we had that mindset shift, by having money available to us or having that access, we understood the freedom that came from it. So I hope that these tips were helpful and are useful to you, because a lot of times this information just isn't taught in schools, and it takes time, it takes experience to be able to understand these points. And that's why I wanted to share it with you today, because even if you just got one thing from one point today, you can take that and apply it. Because the main thing that I want you to get from this is it's not always about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And if you are paying yourself and prioritizing saving money, having access to that money is going to allow you to do more things than what you've previously been able to do. So these are the 6 tips that have completely changed my life with regards to personal finance. And if you want to continue to learn from Darius and I on how we use our whole life insurance policies to make more money, then definitely check out our next video. And don't forget to own your own lifestyle, or someone else will.